Sound just doesn't come through, huh?
You might be better just to listen to it.
Welcome to the meeting. Enter your meeting ID, followed by pound. If you have not entered any enter your participant ID, followed by pound. Otherwise, just press pound. You entered 8, 3, 6, 6, 4, 2, 7, 6, 2, 3, 8. This meeting password is invalid. Please re-enter the meeting password, followed by pound. You are in the meeting. There are all types of this meeting is recorded. You are muted. You can mute or unmute yourself by pressing star 6. You have been added to the list. Cannot talk.
I'm gonna read this, okay?
Can you turn that up?
Yes, I can turn it. I can't make it louder.
Pretty good then.
You are muted. You can mute or unmute yourself by pressing star 6.
I don't want to give Rick a complex. Yeah.
Hi, can someone on Zoom confirm if you can hear me okay?
Hmm.
Hi, can the attendees on Zoom hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Carmen. We'll be starting in just 1 minute. Thank you. Yeah, you don't. Oh, so the microphones for the VOA members, the microphones are now set up to be automatic, so you don't have to press record.
She's here. She's here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so today's June 2, 2021. We're at Bartonville Town Hall to start a Board of Adjustment special meeting. It's 5:34 p.m. So we will call the meeting to order. We will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. So you can have public participation, and this would only be for things that are not on the agenda. So does anyone want to speak in favor of or speak with anything not on the agenda tonight? Nobody on Zoom? Do you have to check the Zoom?
Somebody on Zoom here to provide public participation for items that are not on the agenda.
Okay, so then we will have the approval of the minutes of March 3rd, 2021. So we just need a discussion, or does anyone need a motion on those minutes? I'll have a chance to read through it.
Motion to approve.
All in favor? To approve the minutes? Okay. Alrighty. So then we will move on to the public hearing to consider a request for a variance from Chapter 14 zoning regulations Exhibit A, Division 4, Special Requirements, Chapter 19 accessory building and use regulations. Section 19.3 accessory dwellings, subsection E and I requiring accessory dwellings not to exceed 1,000 square feet of floor area within a separate structure, and a minimum lot size of 4 acres is required to be eligible for a building permit to construct an accessory building. The variance sought is to allow an accessory dwelling with 1,257 square feet of floor area within a separate structure, and to allow for the construction of an accessory dwelling on a lot size of less than 4 acres. The property is a 2.073 acre tract of land described as Lot 1, Block A of Martinez Addition, Town of Bartonville, Texas, and is located at 950 Porter Road in Bartonville, Texas. So we'll have our staff presentation.
The property owners, Charles and Sandra Skelton, have submitted a variance application requesting 2 separate variances, both related to accessory dwellings. The first is to allow an accessory dwelling on a lot size that is less than 4 acres. The lot is 2.073 acres, of which 0.358 acres is dedicated to the right-of-way. The second variance request is to allow the accessory dwelling to exceed 1,000 square feet. The applicants request 1,257 square feet for the accessory dwelling. In your agenda packet is the variance application and various supporting materials that were provided by the applicant. Since posting the agenda, the town has received 3 letters of opposition from residents, and copies of those letters have also been provided to you.
So then we will have the applicant make their presentation. So if you'll stand up here, raise your right hand and state your name, address, and
Charles Skelton, 950 Porter Road.
swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
We wanted to thank you for the time that you're giving us to present. I think that we put a pretty good packet together with good detailed information with regards to the property. We understand that we can build within the property lines attached to the current dwelling. The request for variance was based on the drainage at the lot. So I don't know if you guys have been by there or you know where we're at, but the lot in front of us, it kind of goes downhill. So we want to make sure that we don't cut any trees down. We maintain structural integrity of the current dwelling. And we met with 4 different contractors in regards to the best way to do it with maintaining the country style and feel of Bartonville. And so that is the request. And my father is a Vietnam veteran. He's fully handicapped, and I am requesting a secondary accessory single home for him, for the ability to have handicap capabilities. It would be difficult to do that in our current dwelling, and I plan on taking care of him. And then we have other parents that may come later. So that is the request. I've talked to all of my neighbors. I haven't had any opposition. Everybody agreed that I met with before we even started this process. So is there any questions?
Probably not at this time.
That is
Okay, well, then we will open the public hearing at 5:40 p.m. And I guess from the audience, we will hear from those that are in favor. Excuse me. Well, isn't there one in favor? Or is Charles And he just spoke? Okay, okay. Okay, so then do we have anyone else in the audience that would like to speak in favor of or on Zoom?
Is anyone on Zoom who would like to speak in favor of the agenda item? There are no hands.
Audience on those that would like to speak opposed, and I have a Nancy. Just state your name and address.
Nancy Skodak at 1267 Rockgate Road. To the members of the Board of Adjustment, in deciding the variance petition, I ask that the board deny approval based on the following. Granting the petition is A, in direct conflict with Chapter 19 accessory building and use regulations. B, adversely affects and diminishes the property values of surrounding multi-acre residential estates. And C, is detrimental to the public health and safety due to the proposed addition of a second driveway opening onto Porter Road from the ancillary building location. I am not unsympathetic to the property owner's well-intentioned request for the variance. However, this petition is not to add a simple loafing shed or detached garage, but a request, in fact, to build a second single-family dwelling on a zoned 2-acre lot. And such dwelling is requested to exceed the limitation of 1,000 square feet. The property owner has options and ample room on the north side of the property to renovate the existing 3,100 square foot single-family residence to accommodate the needs for on-site caregiver assistance. This pathway would not require a variance. Please uphold the accessory building and use regulations and deny this petition.
Beth Jones?
I'm Lynette Jones and I live at 864 Porter Road and I am one of your neighbors. I haven't had the conversation about this. I just really have become more aware of it in the last few days. And I just concur with the statement that was just made. And I would just encourage the board to deny it just because it's going to create the precedence for high density in our community. And our dedication has been to maintaining our ordinances and keeping the properties set so that it is not. So, okay.
Vicky Burford?
Hi, I'm Vicky Burford. I live at 1221 Rockgate Road, and I am also against this variance. It is basically adding an additional house on a 2-acre lot, which then, I mean, it's basically splitting it into 2 1-acre lots. And that's not what the ordinance are for Bartonville. And everybody wants to keep it country. That's not going to do it. I think this would set a precedence that you would never be able to get back from if this is allowed. My son could come to me tomorrow and say he can't afford a lot. Can he just build a house on my 2 acres? Where are you going to draw the line and stop? So I do ask you to deny it and stay with the rules and regulations and the ordinances that are in place to keep us rural. Thank you.
Gary?
Good evening. My name is Terry Skodak. I'm Nancy's worst half, I guess. 1267 Rockgate Road here in Bartonville. I'm in opposition to this variance request. I believe that while the petition filed is altruistic and compassionate in its structure, it's undeniable to me that this request represents a devaluing subdivision of the current Bartonville 2-acre lot structure. And not only that, but to build a small non-compliant dwelling on the rest of that property. If granted, this petition sets a benchmark, as Vicky stated. Given properly articulated reasoning in the entire 2-acre estate that we all live on, that we poured our life's work into, with property values that we expected when we moved out here, is subject to carve up and further depreciation by the construction of small metal buildings on the lots that are a result. We built in Bartonville fully understanding and appreciating the current and meaningful building restrictions, and we believe that our neighbors feel the same way. Thank you.
That's all that I have. Is there anyone else out there that would like to speak? And I do have one letter from Betty Medlock at 1029 Rockgate Road that she is in opposition of the variance. Unless there's anyone on Zoom.
Is there anyone on Zoom who would like to provide a comment?
This is Carmen Summers. I'm at 834 Porter, and I concur with all the statements that have been made, asking that you do not approve this request for variance. That lot sold for less than 2 acres. When it was on the market, it was at 1.7 acres. And now I believe they stated as being a little over 2, but still to build 2 houses or to build a second house on property that is just barely 2 acres is totally against everything that Bartonville has voted for and has indicated that they want to keep. So I ask that you do not deny this request. Thank you.
Is there anyone else on Zoom who would like to provide a comment?
Any kind of a rebuttal from the applicant?
I appreciate the integrity of the rules and regulations. I do have the right to build. I just don't have the right to secondary dwelling on that property. So I do have a handicapped father. I appreciate that you don't want to build and that there are regulations for that. I do know that increasingly, we're going to continue to see our parents and grandparents need to be taken care of, and the property value of mother-in-law suite type opportunities will continue to increase the value of homes, and it will continue to increase in our market. You're going to see that moving forward. My intention is to try to keep this very small. If it needs to be smaller and do something, I requested it to be 1,200 because I'm anticipating handicap accessibility. I cannot build on the north side. It is a drainage issue. There's no way I could build on that. I would have to bring in a lot of dirt and change the entire drainage system of our property. And I've requested to build a barn looking structure so that it didn't impede on Bartonville the way that it looks today, because that's the reason I moved here as well. This is a beautiful community. There is a barn and horses across from us, the 2 stables. And I've talked to all of my adjacent neighbors. If there's one neighbor I didn't realize I didn't know they were adjacent to me, but all of my neighbors agreed before I even started this process. So there may be one neighbor that I guess is across from somebody else, but I didn't have any opposition at all. So I request that you reconsider and you look at this, and in your decision-making process, you understand that we are trying to make this and I can even make it 1 entry. It doesn't matter to me. But I know that I can build on the property and make it attached to the current dwelling. I just don't think it would look as good. And the integrity of the foundation in that area, I don't want to cut trees. I don't want to do any of that. So consider that when you when you vote, please.
Do I close the public hearing before okay. Okay, so it's 5:50 and we will close the hearing for public comment and for discussion.
Can I have an executive session?
Do you think we need one?
Anybody want one?
Do you think we need one?
Be very short. I need one.
I think we should.
Section 551.071 of the government code.
Okay, so it's 5:51 and we're going to close to executive session under section 551.71 of the government code.
We have some seats available in our lobby as well.
Resume.